there, I'm ArtisticGamer7, and welcome back to another video here on the channel. This is a KoriKat video, and you're probably confused by the way because I mean, for the most part, I've stuck to my schedule completely. It's just that sometimes I've had a few days where I missed a video here and there, most recently because I had a few days that I wasn't feeling 100%, so I just decided to focus on myself. But, anyway, this is usually not on the schedule. I usually don't have 2 videos on Wednesday. Of course, this is probably going to be the first video I post. But either way, there is going to be 2 videos, and it's usually a speed build on Wednesday, so this is strange. But this is because it is actually a part of a collab for the Sims streamers and YouTubers. Now, if you remember, I actually have done a collab in the past, not too long ago. I don't know, was it September's? Did I do September's? Or did I do August? I don't remember, it was one of them, but they have a collab each month, one being a speed build, one being a CAS related one. I actually am participating in both of them. The build one I am working on, but currently not done. It's due on a later date, not much later, but later date than this one. So, anyway, so in this one we basically had to create a family that was going trick-or-treating, and they were all wearing costumes. You had to have at least one adult, one child, and one toddler. Any packs and CC were allowed to be used. And just to let you know on some of the other details, that really isn't going to matter for necessarily the video's sake, but if you're ever interested in becoming a part of the Sims streamers and YouTubers, this might be something you might want to know, so I feel free to, I feel the need to mention it in the videos. Basically, the way that they do their collabs, they post at the beginning of the month, and they require so many people to join the collab to allow the collab to be active. You have to post by a certain, post your video on a certain day, or, you know, do your thing that you do for it. Now, I know in the past they have mentioned that if you didn't post your video or whatever on the date mentioned, it doesn't have to be any certain time of the day, just because the time zones and all that stuff, it'd be a little bit chaotic. It just has to be on the day they state. Like, this one is the 28th, so obviously I'm posting it on the 28th. That you can't participate in the next one, but I haven't noticed that in the rules of this one, or I don't even think they was in the past months, but that is something to note, which I get, because they actually put time to actually make a whole entire list, which makes it easier for us to put it in the descriptions to get everyone who's in the collab, which, talking about that, everyone's stuff is going to be down in the description below, so definitely go check out the other people who participated in this collab, and all their lovely Sims and stuff. Anyway, now for my family that I have here, I actually made a family of 6, and I sort of came up with like a little story for them. The one that you're seeing now is Marcus. He is the dad. The one that was made before is Shahara, which is the mother. They basically lived in the same town as children. They actually went to elementary school together, but when it was about to be middle school, Marcus's family actually moved out of town and away, so they obviously didn't see each other more. They were pretty good friends when they were kids. Not like super close, but pretty good friends. And then as they got older, he came back to help a cousin move, and while he was here, they actually ran into each other again, and they did remember each other. They were kids, so, you know, the memory wasn't, like, strong, but they did remember each other, and they were, like, basically catching up and talking about old times and things like that and what's been going on. And eventually they ended up continuing to talk and eventually got together. Now, they had their oldest daughter, which you should be seeing here in a brief moment or so, who is Talia, and she is actually a really huge, big fan of, like, comics and stuff. She loves anything to do with that. She also loves art, and she actually hopes to be a, like, artist, illustrator, writer type person. She wants to be able to make her own comics in the future whenever she gets older. That's what she's sort of aiming for as her goal. Now, Shahara also had a best friend who was actually the maid of honor of her in her wedding after when they got married, and around the time that she was pregnant with her second child, which is Justin, her best friend was also pregnant with her first child, And they ended up having the kids pretty close together. They're about a few months apart, if that, probably more like a couple months apart. So, you know, that was pretty exciting for the two. They have kids around the same age that could actually play together and hang out together. And around the time that Shahara and Marcus had found out that they were expecting their third child, not too long after, tragedy sort of struck. Her best friend and her husband were in a tragic accident, which left their daughter Annette with no parents and really nowhere else to go to. The grandparents couldn't really take care of her in the situations they were in, or it would be a huge move to go with the other side of the grandparents for her. And after talking with her best friend's family and the Annette's family in general that were still alive, they agreed to one particular choosing that Shahara had, which was to actually adopt Annette as her own. She already sort of was growing up with Justin and some of the others. They already knew each other. It wouldn't be a change of neighborhoods or anything like that, and it would still be sort of more comfortable. Everyone agreed, and actually all the paperwork went through about the time that she was having the third child, Willow, and technically it would be her fourth child because she did adopt Annette. So they are a family of 6, and quite a happy family of 6. There was some adjustments and stuff for Annette, obviously, but there is still, you know, some of that feeling of, you know, what happened, but overall, she is a very happy child. She's happy to be where she's at. She does consider Shahara and Marcus her parents, so they are one happy big family. I wanted to I just started coming up with this idea for this family because I was doing this collab, and normally when I go into cast, I don't go in, like, I have, like, some sort of idea. I'm trying to represent a flower, or a Pokemon, or an element, or, you know, I haven't got to post it yet because there was an error wrong with the video after I uploaded it to YouTube, so I have to redo everything for the video, but I even have one that's based off the mother plant. So, like, I do stuff like that with CAS. I rarely go in just to make a sim that's not based off of something. I mean, I do every once in a while, but usually it's to connect sims that I've made in these other series to build a family off of and bring them into my story. But other than that, I don't just go in and just make a family from nothing. So this was a lot of fun, and I really liked doing, like, the little costumes and stuff. And I decided to make the family the way they did. One, I wanted someone to be more on the nerdy side, just to represent nerdy people, and I like nerdy people. And I'm not gonna lie, like, I seen the Starfire, like, costume, and there's one particular, like, TikToker I've been seeing on my TikTok lately, and she is a person of color, and she cosplays Starfire, and I love her cosplay. So I was partially inspired to make Starfire because of her, and I decided to make it the teen because I wanted to make her sort of the nerdy one, the comic one, and stuff like that. And I did put, like, leggings on her, and technically most of Starfire's outfits, she doesn't have anything covering her legs. It's either just, like, that one-piece thing, or, like, a bikini bottom, or a small skirt. And then she has, like, tall boots, usually. But in the case, since she is a teen and, you know, she is walking around with her parents, her dad would let her wear that outfit on one circumstance, and that was if she wore leggings underneath it. So she is wearing leggings. She did altercate the outfit a little bit herself. You know, maybe she made it and stuff. So she made some altercations or made it herself so that it still had that Starfire vibe, but her dad would be partially okay with it. As for the parents are both pirates. I actually wasn't sure what I was going to make the parrots. I really was only sure going in that I can make the Starfire one, because I downloaded the outfit and I went in immediately and made sure that it worked with tights. I didn't care what tights, I just wanted to make sure that it worked with tights or, like, leggings so that they can go underneath them and the leggings didn't glitch over top of it. And as soon as, like, I had that, I was like, I'm gonna try to, someone's being Starfire. So yeah, but ultimately I came across the outfit on the mother And I was like, oh, I really like that on her. And it could go for a few vibes, but I was feeling the piratey vibes, so I gave her an eye patch. And then I also gave the husband a pirate's cap. I decided they were going to match, but not the rest of the family. I think it's pretty cool and cute when families do a matching thing, but it's normally cuter when the children are very, very young, so, you know, they don't have as much of a, not necessarily a choice, but, you know, they're not gonna care as much if what character they are, or like you can talk them into being certain characters pretty well. But once they start getting older, especially into teenhood, obviously they're not going to want to do matching stuff for the whole family. They're going to want to start expressing themselves. They're going to start wanting to do things. So it's cool to do the matching family thing when they're so young, and if the kids truly are behind it. But after a certain point, I definitely would let my kid pick the outfit if I had them, no matter what I was doing myself. So I made the two parents matching, so they decided to match with each other, which I don't think couples have to match either. It just sort of worked out that way. But, yeah, so they don't have to match either, but it worked out that way for me, and I think they are cute and adorable. But, and then their son is a vampire. I wasn't sure. The kids, honestly, I didn't have as much costume options as I thought I had, because I wasn't trying to use anything that was EA. Technically, the son's outfit is EA. I did obviously incorporate some CC aspects to it and things like that, like adding that black across the face, to make the eye section look a little bit more darker in ways and sinister, because, you know, he is a little boy. He probably wants to look creepy. He's got fake teeth in. The older daughter, she's actually, I'm imagining she's wearing a wig, but she still wanted the wig to represent what her natural hair sort of is, with the curliness and the poofiness. I love it. And she is wearing contacts. But, she's a teenager, so she's more likely to be able to do those things. A kid's wearing wigs is fine. I just don't think I would ever try to make a kid wear contacts. So, but none of the kids in my head are wearing wigs except for the oldest one, the teenager. But yeah, anyway. But yeah, for the most part, I tried to stick with CC and things like that, and I couldn't decide what Annette was going to be either. I ultimately decided to make her Alice, because I was going the fairy direction, and then I was like, no, I really want to do Alice. Like, I seen the tights, and I was like, I want to do Alice. And I found a little pumpkin outfit that also could be a strawberry. I debated on letting little Willow be a strawberry, but the pumpkin was just fitting, and I feel like every toddler or baby at some point in their life is a pumpkin, so it just had to be done. It had to be a pumpkin. But yeah, so I had loads of fun with this family, and honestly, in some ways, I almost want to try to incorporate them in, like, something. Like, an LP or a challenge, or I don't know, something. I want to do something with them, but I just don't know what I would do just yet. I might try to figure something out. But anyway, yeah, so I hope you really like them. I really wanted to actually have Annette in there just because one of the things I've been seeing on social media in general lately is that for some reason people, and it's really ridiculous and it's annoying, but people will have adopted kids, or, you know, they've only seen one parent and not the other parent, and the kid is an obviously different color or background than the parent that they've seen, and they're obviously just constantly pointing out, like, that's not your kid, that's not your kid. One, you don't know what the other parent looks like, chances are, so you don't know if they've just taken really strongly after the other parent. Two, an adopted kid is still their kid, so I sort of wanted to give that sort of representation in that sense, because I feel sad for those families that people keep doing that to them. That is their child, that is their parents. Like, it doesn't matter the situations. When you adopt a child and you're taking care of them, you love them just like your own. So, but anyway, yeah, I had a lot of fun with them. The places, I took some screenshots of them, are actually places that I've made for my haunted builds. I thought it was a nice little ending thing, because the haunted build series is most likely ending unless I do it, like, every once in a while, just because I mainly did it for the month of October, but I'm okay with doing it past then. Even today's build that is coming out later is actually in the screenshots as well, so you'll be seeing that a little bit after this video. So keep an eye out for that. But I had a lot of fun with them making this family and doing the screenshots of them visiting the spooky places. I just imagine technically the bridge they just walked across in St. Albans they walked past. There's no way that there was people at those places giving out candy. But yeah, so that's what I went with for the screenshots of those. But anyway, I hope you really, really enjoyed this video and you like the family. I love them. They was fun to make and definitely different for me from what I've been doing with KoriKat. But thank you so much for watching. Definitely, if you're interested, go check out the Sims streamers and YouTubers. They have a Facebook group and a Twitter. I think they have a lot more, but that's the main two I keep an eye out on. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.